Hi, I'm Brandon, and today I'm taking a look at the interrogation of Michael Bailey. He's not a TCAP guy, but it's along the similar line, so I figured I'd take a look at it. I did a commentary on him on my Patreon channel a while back, but I was thinking more about him and just kind of want to do a fresh one here for YouTube. So let's jump into it.
No, that one right there.
By the way, I'm going to be starting and stopping this a lot and talking a lot. So if you don't want to listen to my commentary and you just want to see the interrogation, there's other channels. There's a bunch of other versions of it with just the interrogation. So you can watch that. But if you want to hear what I have to say, then let's continue.
And I'll make sure they come in and talk to you. Okay. Oh, there you go. Yep, you're welcome. Michael, thanks for coming down. I'm Detective English. This is Detective Garcia. Hello. How's your trip? Not bad. Okay. You bring a identification with you, Michael? Yeah. Start off with that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be weird if they didn't check for identification? They just did this entire interrogation and then realized, like, oh, this isn't even the guy we're supposed to talk to.
How do you say your middle name?
DeVere.
DeVere.
So they'll get into it quick, but basically he's been accused of exposing himself at Walmart.
You're currently at 3390 Oasis in Havasu, correct?
That's right.
Do you live alone, or who do you live with?
Oh, no, I'm by myself.
You married, single, divorced, widowed?
I'm divorced, and I've been living in Oregon for the last 43 years. And my mother and her husband are in their upper 80s, and their health is kind of failing, so I decided to get a little closer.
Where do they live?
They live in Riverside, California.
Okay. So if they live in Riverside, why Lake Havasu?
Well, it was as close as I could get without going to California. 'Cause I didn't want to try to buy into California.
Okay.
This is kind of like the whole Lorne thing where he moved to be closer to Amanda James, even though it was still not very close. I think he moved to Maine and she was like in Pennsylvania, so it's like not that close. So he's like, yeah, I wanted to move closer to my mother because she's getting old. I need to take care of her. And then it's like, well, if she's in Riverside, California, like why didn't you just move to where she is? Well, I wanted to get as close as possible, but not in California. Okay, but California's a big place, so even if you're outside of it, it's still going to be a huge long drive. So like, yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
You own your home in Lake
Yes.
Havasu? Okay. You came down on your own, correct, Michael?
I'm sorry?
You came down here on your own,
Yes.
correct? Okay. And you know why you're here today? What we're here to
Yeah.
discuss? Okay. The reason why you're here is because there are two sides to every story. Okay. And just so I'm clear, why are we here talking? So I know that you know what we're talking about.
Oh, because of the incident there at, I believe, Walmart.
Okay. Can you explain a little further what incident?
Well,
Is it just me, or do an abnormally large number of just bizarre incidents like this take place at Walmart? So anytime there's like some sort of incident at a store, I swear probably like, I'd say like 75% of the time it's a Walmart. I get it that there's a lot of Walmart stores, but maybe they just attract that kind of person.
I was just, I came in, shopping around for, some bargains on clothing, more than anything. And you know,
Things just get a little out of hand in there for you? In Walmart?
how's that?
Well,
See, it seems like maybe there's a bit more to it than what he's letting on. He's like, oh, I was just in there just shopping around. Okay, if that was all you were doing, you wouldn't have been asked to come down to the police station to be interrogated.
so you came to Walmart to buy some clothes. They don't sell clothes down at the Walmart in Havasu?
Oh,
Does he seriously hope that that's all where the questions will end? Okay, well, if that's all you did, guess we can't arrest you for it. Like, obviously, he did something more.
well, yeah, they do, but you know, I go straight to the discount aisles and see what they've got to offer there.
Mm-hmm.
And
So what happened at Walmart?
well, I just shopping around, and
And
couldn't find anything in the clothing. Couldn't find anything else that I was interested in. I left.
Okay.
Okay. Well, before we go any further into this line of questioning, and because you can't get out without having a special key card that they assigned to us, I'm going to read you your Miranda rights, okay? Doesn't necessarily mean that you're under arrest, okay? Just that you're not free to leave without us being able to let you go. And because you're being here and held and asked questions, I'm just going to read you your Miranda, okay? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to the presence of an attorney to assist you prior to any questioning, and to be with you during any questioning if you so desire. If you can't afford an attorney, you have the right to have an attorney appointed to you prior to any questioning. You understand those rights so far? Okay. And are you willing to answer my questions here today?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so is that pretty much the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about? Is you went in to go shopping and you get
how's it the meat and potatoes? His story is he went in to go shopping and couldn't find anything he wanted. Something tells me that that's kind of missing a large piece of the puzzle why he's here.
find any good deals and then you left and that was it?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. I think you and I both know that it's a little bit more than that.
Cops are like, you went into Walmart, you didn't buy anything? That's against the law. You couldn't find any good deals? You're going to prison now. Like, obviously there's more to it. And just the fact that he's not asking why he's there. If that's all you did, you went into Walmart, looked around for a couple minutes, and then left, and all of a sudden the police call you down to the police station because they want to talk to you about something, and then they have you in a locked room and they read you your Miranda rights, wouldn't you want to know, like, hey, why am I here? What are you accusing me of? The fact that he's remaining silent and he's just like, I don't know, I just went in there and couldn't find anything. That's not the behavior of someone who's innocent. It's someone that knows damn right well they did something wrong, they got caught, they're in trouble, and they're trying to cover it up. Most people would be like, tell me right now what I'm here for. I'm gonna get up and walk away. Like, naturally, we just want to know what you're being accused of, especially if you're innocent.
Is that your picture, Michael?
Yes.
And that's the same picture on your driver's license,
That's
correct?
it. Mhm.
Okay.
Mr. Bailey, I'm gonna give you some really good advice right now.
When you're walking around Walmart, make sure that your shorts are on in a way that your junk is not hanging out. I think that's kind of the advice he needs.
been here at Bullhead PD for 20 years, and I've been a detective for the last 6 years. And it's in your best interest to tell the truth, to take responsibility for your actions, And
Well, not really. That's what's in the police's best interest. That's not what's in the suspect's best interest. And obviously, I want these guys to go to prison and get punished for if the horrible things they did. But at the same time, just in general terms for the law, it's going to benefit the police if you tell the truth and admit to everything. If you just stay quiet, it's going to make the police's job harder, but that is within your rights, so you should probably do that.
don't sit here and act like you don't know what's going on.
No.
You know, because we really don't invite people into Bullhead PD that come to our Walmart and leave without buying anything. We don't have those restrictions that if you come to one of our stores that you have to make a purchase. So I know that
That would be pretty horrible. That'd be a horrible law that every store you go into, you have to buy something for that store, otherwise you get arrested. That'd be ridiculous.
that's bullshit. Okay, so if you want to help yourself, you can be honest with Detective English here.
Okay.
You know, if you want to dummy up, then
No, I don't want to dummy up.
Okay.
I want to get this thing straightened out.
Okay.
Best as possible here.
What kind of vehicle do you drive?
I've got Saturn
Okay.
station wagon, and I've got a Chevy Colorado pickup,
Okay, and what color is that?
and that's a silver gray.
Okay. I don't know how good your eyes are. Does that look like your vehicle? Do you have a utility box in the back of your
Yeah.
truck?
Yep.
Okay.
And like all the other interrogations, by the time the police have you here, they've done their homework. They've checked all the surveillance videos. They have pictures of you in the store. They have pictures of your truck there. They confirmed it's your truck. They know pretty much everything. They're just here to try to get you to confess. This isn't going to be the first step of the process. Like when they interrogate these guys because they found illegal stuff on their computer or whatever, they've already done the search warrant on their devices and like their accounts. Like they already know pretty much everything they're going to confront you with. So there's really no getting around it or lying your way out. Your best bet is just to say nothing.
Yep.
Who's that?
That's me.
That's you.
do you want to start over? You want to start over and tell Detective English why you're here, or do you want to continue going this?
Like you're the police. You're the one that asked me to come here. You tell me why we're here. Not that I'm sticking up for this guy. I mean, he's obviously a scumbag, but it's just like police tricks that they use. Like, why don't you tell us why you think we're here? You know, kind of hinting. Just list all the crimes you've committed that you think that you may be here for.
No, I'm just
Stupid route.
No, I don't want to be on a stupid route.
Okay. So why don't you start over and tell Detective English why you know you're here today?
Okay, well, he explained to me yesterday that they said that I was following people around, and he said that I was exposing myself. Well, I've never in my life exposed myself. I mean,
Really?
maybe revealed. Clothing I had on was revealing, but as far as
How could the clothing you have on be revealing? Isn't that the whole point of clothing, so that it's not revealing? I don't think this guy's walking around in a Speedo or like a mini skirt or something. If you're just wearing normal clothes that you would wear out and about to Walmart, it shouldn't be revealing unless you adjust it in such a way. And the thing is, with shorts, the way they cover certain body parts, it can't be revealing unless you move the clothes around or somehow purposely adjust them to make your body parts revealing, which is exactly what he did.
bare skin.
Okay. I could see that. Michael, listen. These discs right here are you exposing yourself and fondling yourself in the Walmart clothing section while you followed a young girl around in that section. Okay? Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, it would be.
Okay. There was a lady who caught you, who saw you with your genitals exposed, following her granddaughter. No, I'm telling
I've
you.
never had my genitals exposed.
Okay, all right.
That's a fact. I would never do that.
Okay. But you were touching yourself.
Well, that's true. And
Okay. He's trying to be all defensive. Oh, I would never ever expose myself. That would just be weird. But were you touching yourself? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was doing that. Okay. How was that better?
You know, the clothing I had on might have been a little revealing, but there was no
Your clothing can't be revealed. What were you wearing that would be revealing? Like, I just said this. Normal clothes, even just shorts, they cover your body part, all your body parts. The ones we're talking about. There's no way it could be revealing unless you pulled it down or pulled them up or pulled them to the side or somehow moved them so it was doing that. And that does not happen by accident.
exposing my genitals.
Well, this isn't the only person. On the same day, this is,
Yeah, he's like, I would never do that. By the way, this has been happening multiple times.
I have the narrative. April 20th or 21st is the date of the pictures that I showed you. Okay. I have 2 witnesses that say that they've seen your genitals hanging out of your shorts, those blue shorts that you were wearing, that you pulled them up so high that your testicles were hanging out. One of them.
Yeah, and he's just like rubs his chin. Interesting. There is no way that could happen without you doing it on purpose. There's just no way. They don't make shorts that are just so tight, unless he's wearing there's no shorts. He's a grown man. Like shorts would cover that. You would have to purposely adjust them. If that was the case, this would be something that just happens to guys constantly, with your stuff falling out of your shorts. That doesn't happen unless you do it on purpose.
Who had a little 3-year-old girl with her while you passed them both through the dairy section. Okay. Then there's video and witness accounts of you following this young girl through the clothing section on that same day and exposing yourself on the other side of the clothing rack.
And also, not to mention, it would be really uncomfortable if your shorts were just hiked up so high that your junk was hanging out. Like, that would be very, very uncomfortable. There's no way that could be happening and you not notice it.
Fondling yourself. The old lady in the wheelchair saw you. She saw your genitalia in your hand, and you weren't there shopping. Okay, so let's throw that theory out. Because you were there for a total of about 15 to 17 minutes. So you weren't there shopping. Okay? You went there with one thing in mind. And maybe you didn't have it in mind. I don't know. Maybe it's just something that happened and you responded.
It's not something that just happened.
But that's why you're here. You're here to explain that. So please.
And it wasn't like he was just minding his own business with his parts exposed. He was following around a mom and a minor and multiple other people. He was following them around, and he was also touching himself. So obviously that was premeditated and on purpose.
I had money with me, and if I had seen something that I would have...
You know what?
Okay, it doesn't... Buddy, if you do something like that, it's blatantly disgusting and very illegal. It doesn't matter if you buy anything. It's not like if you buy something at Walmart, you're allowed to go exposing yourself to people in there. Who cares if you bought something or not?
I call bullshit. You came to our Walmart in our city to do one thing and one thing only.
Yeah.
To get your rock.
And that's the thing. This isn't like the Walmart near where he lives. Like I don't know how far it is, but he drove to some other city to go into a Walmart, and he did this and then left and then drove home. So he's claiming he went there to buy something, but he's just like, yeah, so like, why wouldn't you go to the Walmart where you live? Why would you drive to some other city, walk around for a few minutes, and then leave without buying anything and drive home? That seems very weird. It seems almost as though he just didn't want to do this kind of thing close to home in case he got caught, so he drove somewhere else to do it, far away from home, but then got caught anyway.
Off by looking at little girls. You walk down the dairy aisle, and if we need to show that DVD to you, we will. With your shorts pulled up so far, your junk's hanging out. You offended a mother and her 3-year-old child.
It's not so much, I mean, yeah, like it's offensive, but you can't really play it like, oh, they're just some kind of a prude, you know. No, like this is a sex offense. This is horrible. This is the kind of thing that people do, and then it escalates, right? Like they start by doing this kind of stuff, but they're also doing God knows what other kind of horrible things. And if he's focusing this on very, very young minors, then like this has to be stopped. This isn't just like, oh, it's a funny joke. You offended some people because they don't like nudity. No, this is much more serious than that. You can't be allowing this kind of stuff. And I love this female cop. I mean, I get it that sometimes you got to be nice. You got to play nice as the police officer to in the interrogation to get information, to get a confession out of them. But sometimes I just like it when they treat these guys like how they should be treated. It's like, call bullshit on them. Just like make sure they know what they're doing's wrong.
Should a 3-year-old child have to look at your old penis and testicles?
No.
I don't think so. But you chose to do that. You obviously enjoyed that. And then if that wasn't good enough for you, you went over to the little girls' clothing aisle. Now, how many bargains do they have for 65-year-old men in the children's clothing aisle? 0. None. I went and looked just to make sure that they didn't have a random men's clothing in the children's aisle. And while you...
Yeah, he would have no unless he was buying something for his kids. But even if he has kids, if he's 65, like his kids would be grown up. So like, yeah, he has no reason to be there.
You were there, you had your hand in your pants masturbating. And then your testicles and penis again were hanging out from the bottom of your shorts. Can you explain that? And you want to tell me that you came up here to look for bargains? No, you didn't. You came up here to look for little girls. And you know what? I am offended by that.
Michael,
and don't say that this is the first time that anything has happened.
and it's not, because you went back and you did it again. I don't know where the narrative's at, but you went back and you did it again. And I have a whole nother list of witnesses that saw that. In fact, that's how we found out who you were after that point, because there was an employee who watched you and followed you throughout the store and watched you and got in after you left and got in your truck. We got your plate.
And the thing is, like, he's doing this obviously if multiple people are noticing, like employees and everything, and they're getting surveillance video. Like, he's doing this in such a way that it's blatantly obvious that multiple people are watching. So this isn't just like a quick flash that he's doing, and it's kind of like their word against his. This is just like it's disgusting. I don't know how else to say it.
We ran your picture by everybody in these 2 incidences so far, and everybody, without hesitation, picked you out in this photo lineup as a man who did these things. So it's not the only time you've done it. Not only that, I've ran a criminal history on you. You've been arrested for it before, correct?
Well,
Yeah, so it's like, dude, you've been arrested for this exact same thing before, but then you're like trying to deny that you did it this time.
yeah.
Okay, so it's not
I would never do that. It's like, you've been arrested and convicted of it before.
the only time you did it.
Yeah, back in 1971, you were arrested
And
up in Oregon.
up in Oregon.
Up in Eugene, right?
In Eugene area,
Mhm.
and it wasn't for, it was streaking back in the days when that was kind of a popular thing to do, and that's,
I don't think like streaking is a popular thing to do. Like, it was something that some people did, maybe, but it would happen. But I don't think it wasn't like a popular. It wasn't a thing that like everyone did at the time. Like, it's something that very, very few people ever did, and when they did, it was very seldom. And it's also different between. There's a difference between just running through a football game or some sort of thing naked versus exposing yourself to specific young individuals in a Walmart. Is a big difference. And he's trying to make it look like, oh, everyone did this. I was just the one that got caught, but this is something that was normal back then. Like, nah, I don't think so.
And so that makes it okay.
No,
That makes it okay now that you're walking around Walmart with your shorts pulled up to your fucking neck so your junk can hang out.
no, that's
Yeah.
not right.
And
Tell him, detective.
then there was another occasion, right? In, what was that other place in Oregon where you had another incident with some indecency? Do you recall that? In Baker? You know what, Michael? We got all day long to sit here for you to jog your memory. So.
Well, I don't. I got things to do, so if you could just try to wrap it up in less than an hour and a half, I would be happy.
I got coffee. I'll bring my lunch in if I need to.
Tell us what's going on. You went into the store.
And yeah, just like again, like this kind of thing, like there's some people that might not think that this is a big deal because it's just nudity, there's nothing sexual just about naked bodies. It's natural. Like there's people that think that, and it's not like he touched anyone or anything, but it's like no, that's bullshit. People that do this kind of thing for like their own gratification. This isn't like at a beach or somewhere or like a changing room where like you would expect people to not have clothes on. This is somewhere where people don't want to see that thing, and he's doing it for his own gratification, and he's touching himself while doing it. He knows it's wrong, so he's traveling to other places, other jurisdictions to do it there, and he's singling out very young people to do it in front of. And it's like we just have such a problem in this society of like all the To Catch a Predator type guys that I'm covering in these stings. Like there's a whole lot of perverts out there, and they're doing horrible things, and they're causing like incredible damage to young people because it's not just going to stay. If he's aroused by exposing himself like that, he might have had a lifetime of touching people. Like we just don't know, and we just can't live in a society where this kind of thing's allowed, where you're just allowed to go and whip it out in front of anyone of any age, like just to get yourself off because you just you find it arousing, and you're just causing other people trauma because they don't want to see that. And I know there's people that would defend what this guy did, that it's not a big deal, but it is.
On April 21st, this is the day of the pictures that I showed you. Let's start from when you showed up. You get out and you go into the store. So tell me what happens. Tell me about your day or that moment in the store.
Don't really care about his day. I care more about the crime.
I was just wandering around. I wasn't. I don't know how to explain it.
And even that is kind of strange. You're wandering around a Walmart. Like usually when you go in, you're there to buy something. Even if you don't know exactly what you're going to buy, like it's not a place you just go to hang out. You don't go to. It's not like a mall where you could wander around and check out different things. Like it just seems weird. You're in there just lurking around, not actually doing anything or buying anything. That just immediately kind of suspicious.
I mean, I wasn't.
So are you denying that you did any of this stuff?
No, I'm denying that I didn't.
You either did it or you didn't. You can't deny some of it. You did. You either did it or you didn't.
Realize that I had exposure.
Okay.
Really? When your blue shorts are pulled up to here?
Shorts were pulled up, but I thought there was enough cover.
Why would you pull your shorts up? Like your shorts would have to be pulled up to your nipples in order for that to happen. They have to be yanked up so far. That is not comfortable. It looks ridiculous. Why would you do that? Just yank them all the way up. Like that's not possible.
If you wear underwear, do you go?
And even in your older age, I mean, I'm not 65, but I don't think that your balls hang so low that they're going to be visible below your shorts.
Commando.
I wear underwear.
And if it's like, is he wearing those shorts now? Is it the same ones? Like the shorts go down to like below his knees. It looks like.
You didn't wear them that day though, did you?
Unless maybe he's wearing pants. Can't remember when he walked in. Yeah, let's just keep going.
Okay. So why when you left your home that day, you didn't put underwear on?
Yeah, another good question.
Because you knew what you intended to do. Am I right? Michael, all day long, this is all I do, is deal with people that commit sex crimes. And you know what? You can make this either easy on yourself, or you can have me on your ass. And I'm going to tell you what, you don't want that.
No.
So get your mind right here and start talking the truth.
Yeah, the thing is, like, us as people who like watching these interrogations and analyzing them, like, we've seen all the excuses before. We've heard all the bullshit. A detective who does this for a living, man, they've heard like 100 times, 1,000 times as much as we have. So the fact that these guys get in there and just think that anyone's gonna believe their lies.
You left your home that morning, you put on those blue gym shorts, and you didn't wear underwear.
Yeah, I'll tell you, for the last 10 years, my blood pressure's just been...
What the? So we're asking you why you didn't wear underwear, and you launch into a question or a story about your blood pressure. Let's hear this. This is going to be amazing, I'm sure.
Spiked like crazy. And so I've had almost no sexual desire.
Oh, he's going for the whole "I can't get it up" excuse. We've heard that before in some of Chris Hansen's confrontations where they say that, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you didn't do this.
Over this last 10 years. And every once in a while, I guess, get a little tingle of a feeling sexually. And even though it's like those two incidences were the only 2 times I came down here since I've been here.
Okay.
What? So is he saying the only 2 times he's traveled there were the 2 times that he's been accused of doing this crime? Is that what he's saying?
Over here.
So what kind of situation gets that tingle going? Because the past...
And is what he's saying that he got that tingle, which is rare, so he immediately put on his shorts without underwear, drove to this city, went to the Walmart and did this? Or is he saying that doing this kind of thing is the only thing that gives him the tingle?
The pattern that I'm seeing here is younger girls.
Well, I'm in the market. I'm looking for a woman my own age.
Okay, but you weren't looking for a woman your own age.
Yeah, if you're looking for a woman your own age, go and find a woman your own age. Don't walk around a Walmart in a strange city that you don't live in with your shorts hiked up and your junk hanging out, following underage people around. That's not how you do it.
Well, if you know,
How old are you?
66.
66. I'm 54, so we're pretty close to the same age. You know what? Would not turn me on to see you walking down the dairy aisle with your junk hanging out. So
Yeah, that is. Yeah, is he trying to say that that's how he picks up women? He wants to meet a fellow woman in her 60s, so he just walks around exposing himself like that. Like that's somehow going to turn them on.
that's not
If it hasn't worked to this point, it's probably not going to work now, buddy.
how you get a woman.
No, it's not.
You might want to check Match.com because I don't think that's one of their dating ideas.
No.
Do you have a home computer?
I've got one, but I don't have an internet.
When was the last time you had internet access?
Never have.
You've never had it? Then what's the purpose of having a computer?
It's probably best if this guy does not have internet access because I think we all know what he'd be doing on there.
Well, I keep threatening to get a...
What's the purpose of having a computer if you don't have internet access?
I just, I had a computer in Oregon. I've had it for about 10 years, and it's been kind of down for the last couple. I never did get it on.
How much time do you have in your common Lake Havasu?
That,
Yeah, I like this detective. She gets right to the point.
that's
She asks the questions that we're all asking.
something I'm not into.
Okay,
Really?
let's do this then, Michael. If we got a hold of the detectives and just
Look at that guy's leg. It's like skinny. It looks like it's like a complete. Most knees are like rounded, aren't they? This is like a look at this angle here. This is like that doesn't what looks like a piece of wood, like on a table or something. What the hell kind of leg is that? That's weird.
To throw that all out to prove that you don't have that stuff on your computer, would you be willing, if I called Detective Slack down in Havasu, the detective that went out and talked to you, would you be willing to forfeit your computer so that she could forensically search that computer
Absolutely.
to make sure that you have nothing in there?
Absolutely.
So you have no child pornography in your home,
I do not, and I'm not into that.
but you're into coming into
Yeah, I don't know if I believe him. If he doesn't, I think the only reason is that he doesn't have internet on it, so it's impossible. I think that'd be the only reason.
Bullhead City, going to the Walmart, going to the little girl section. You didn't even go so far as to go into the teen section or the junior section or the women's section. You went straight over to where the little girls size 1 to size 6X.
Michael,
That's where you went.
the point is that the Walmart in Havasu, the Walmart in Kingman, the Walmart in Timbuktu, the Walmart here are all the same. So there really was no reason for you to have to come all the way up to Bullhead.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like he was going to a store that is only in that town. There's Walmarts like in every single place on Earth, definitely in North America. So, and they're all the same. They're roughly the same. And it's not like he was going for specific, because maybe they have different regional type things or different seasonal things possibly. But he didn't say he was going there for something specific. He said he was just kind of wandering around looking for deals. So if he's just in there to look for general men's clothes, nothing specific, you don't have to travel to some specific location to go to that Walmart.
Shop for some kind of deals, okay? And it's not like you were out there shopping and then all of a sudden, because you haven't had any sexual desire and you felt it come and you felt the sexual desire come out and you had to react on that. That isn't the case.
Not to mention when you're just sitting around the house and you feel some kind of sexual desire coming on, who the hell's first instinct is like, I'm going to drive to Walmart?
You came specifically to the Walmart in Bullhead City for a reason. Because you could have done all that stuff in Havasu. And you could have had all that stuff happen to you and all those feelings happen to you in Havasu, but you didn't go there. That shows me intention. You came here for a reason. Am I pretty close?
Let me have that pencil out of your pocket, please. Do you have any other sharp objects or anything?
No.
You got a knife or anything?
No.
Okay. What we're going to do right now is we're going to let you sit here and think about it, because I want to come back in and have you start telling the truth rather than sitting here
Yeah, you don't want him pulling a Jeff Stacy with that pencil.
and bullshitting us. All right? I'm going to call a spade a spade. You're lying to us. Don't appreciate it. So you take a moment.
I'm trying to be truthful.
You're trying to be truthful. There's a difference between trying to be truthful and being truthful.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can't try to be truthful. Just like either tell the truth, or if you don't, you're lying. And things, you don't even have to tell the truth. They read you your rights. You don't have to answer anything they say. You could leave right now. You're not under arrest. And even if you are under arrest, you still don't have to talk. You could just say, I'm not saying anything. That would be your best bet.
I'm going to give you 5 minutes. When we come back, be truthful. Don't try, be.
Yeah, Michael. B. All right, let's skip ahead a bit. I don't think we need to watch this guy sit around thinking. Some of these guys, I wonder, are they just so dumb? Like, do they realize how much trouble they're in? Like, do they even, like, care? Okay, here the cops are back. All right. Chapter 2.
Are you retired?
Yes.
Yeah. Michael, what did you do for work when you were working?
Worked in construction.
In a union or anything like that? So it's like heavy equipment.
We see a lot of these predators that work in construction. I don't think that reflects badly on that industry. I mean, I've worked in construction before briefly when I was younger. So obviously it's probably just an industry that just a lot of people work in, so you're going to have some predators do that kind of work, but I don't know, it seems like it comes up quite a bit. Just something I thought I'd point out.
Okay. When did you retire?
About 6 years ago.
Okay. And were you still living in Oregon around that time?
Yes.
Okay, so you've been down here since you retired, pretty much?
No, I just moved here a year ago, February.
Okay. And you lived in that address on Oasis ever since then?
Mm.
See, I thought they were going to give him a break and then come back in and just really lay into him. Instead, they come back and just start asking him more, not really important personal details.
I moved in a year, May 1st, a year from last May.
So you had some time to think about things. You've never done anything like this before. So of course you have.
For the last 10 years, with this high blood pressure, and I've been impudent now, and my wife left me 10 years ago. Well, I was married to her 20 years.
What's her name?
Judy.
Judy Bailey?
I haven't seen her in 10 years, but I would think so.
Where's Haines, Oregon? Because you lived there for a while, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I lived there for 28 years.
Mm-hmm. What'd you do in Haines?
He exposed himself to minors in Walmarts.
I had 15 acres up on Rock Creek. It's like, I had a little equestrian ranch up there.
What'd you do to get in trouble up in Haines when you got arrested?
In Haines?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Baker City is just 10 miles away.
Mm-hmm. That's all is that in Union County, Baker City?
No, that's Baker
That's in
County.
Baker County. Okay, well, what did you do in Union County?
In Union County, that was
Mm.
LeGrand.
But you were living in Haines, right? When you got in trouble in Union County.
Right.
What'd you do then?
That's the thing is, like, guys that do this, especially when they're in older age and they've had an entire lifetime to do this kind of crap, they just have, like, this swath of destruction over everywhere they live. It's not like they just did this for the first time now. It's like everywhere they've lived, they've been in some sort of trouble. There's just been, whether it's like they've been arrested or convicted or it's just rumors, but they've been doing this kind of stuff. They have a history of it just everywhere they go. They've just been doing stuff like this. And it kind of sucks that we have to wait till he's 65 before finally the hammer comes down on him. They should, like, first time doing this kind of thing, you need to be punished severely and you never ever do it again. Second time, you should be locked away forever. We can't have just all these predators out there doing this kind of shit. It can't be allowed.
Let's see, I was walking through a clothing store, and as a lady was passing me, I touched her on the backside.
Mm.
So not only has he been exposing himself, he's been actually touching people too. Okay.
And that, I'll tell you, I don't touch people.
You So he says, I walked by a lady in the store and I touched her backside. His very next sentence is, I don't touch people.
That time I touched her on the backside, and I didn't think I offended her, but I did.
So you grabbed a random woman's backside, a complete stranger in a store, and you said, I didn't think I'd offend her, but I did. These guys are just so delusional. They think that someone would enjoy that. Just some random creepy old man just grabbing them in a store like that. He doesn't see anything wrong with that.
See, Michael, we don't bring people in here and talk to them unless we've done our homework. So we know about that.
Okay.
We know about your indecent exposure. We know all of this stuff, Michael, so you can't come in and bullshit us.
I'll do that.
Your domestic assault, kidnapping charge that you got, that
Is
was,
kidnapping charges?
When you wouldn't let your wife call the police. Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that one. And, you know, doggone it, there's another.
And that's like, these guys, they have such a history. Like, why can't the law just lock people like this up instead of waiting till it gets to the point where something extreme happens? And even if nothing extreme happens, maybe this guy's never going to murder anyone, but just the 1,000 little things he did. There's so many of these guys out there doing this kind of thing. Women too. There's horrible women out there. We've been seeing a lot in the news. Just people that do this kind of stuff, and it's like, okay, he grabbed a woman. Okay, well, you know, it's just one time. It's not that bad, so he kind of gets away with it. Gets a slap on the wrist, and well, then he's exposing himself in a Walmart to minors. Well, okay, you know, gets another kind of slap on the wrist, and he just has a history, domestic assault and kidnapping, and well, he downplays that. It wasn't a big deal. He just has like a lifetime of all these things he's doing, and just he's never really been punished for any of them. Otherwise, he'd be in prison. So he just gets I don't know what kind of punishment he got. Like it was just probation or brief jail time, but he just has a history of doing this kind of thing. It's like, why can't we just stop these people in their tracks the first time they did it? This guy was locked up. He wouldn't be negatively affecting all these other people. Like it's just why do we let people like this get away with it?
A situation that it got kind of turned around. I mean, they called it kidnapping. My wife said that she was going to take off, and she was going to go down and spend the night at abused woman
At a shelter?
shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And I never.
So your wife was so scared that she wanted to leave the house to get away from you, to go to a women's shelter. And you wouldn't let her go, and it got to the point where you were arrested, and they called it kidnapping because you wouldn't let her leave. That shows the kind of person you are, and it shows why you're divorced right now. And on top of that, you just have a history of traveling around committing disturbing sex crimes. So this guy's horrible.
Laid a hand on that woman, and I mean, we were getting along real well, but that was.
If you never laid a hand on her, why would she want to go to the women's shelter? Obviously, you did lay a hand on her, or you were just she was so afraid of you that she wanted to go there because she thought you would. Either way, it means you're kind of a piece of shit.
Her way of dealing with it, and when she started to leave, I jumped into the driveway and I really don't know why I did that. Because I really wanted her to leave.
What I'm hearing, Michael, is everything has really been turned around, and it's really not your fault.
Yeah, exactly. He has a history of doing all these things, but somehow there's I wouldn't call it rational explanation, but somehow there is an explanation he has for all of it, and it's never quite as bad as it looks. Yet it keeps repeatedly happening, just all this very inappropriate, illegal behavior, and now we're at the point where he's exposing himself to minors at Walmart, and he's still trying to downplay that wasn't like that. It was just, it was just the way my shorts were, and it was some bullshit.
And remember the advice I gave you when you first came in here is to take responsibility for your actions, and things will go a lot easier, because the more we do this little dance, the more pissed off I'm getting. And I'm not going to be a very good dance partner for you very much longer. All right? You told us that you're looking for a woman your own age, yet you're in the little girls section. You're walking through Walmart,
Well, no.
you leave home that morning, you put your blue gym shorts on and you don't wear any underwear. And you did that for a reason, because I'd venture to say you have underwear on right now, am I correct?
Well, I was rather will do it.
Until you decide that you want to come and expose your genitals, that's when you don't wear underwear, am I correct?
You are.
Is that a fair statement or not?
Like I say, I haven't had any of those kind of desires at all. I've been,
Up until you decide to come to the Bullhead City Walmart, then you have those desires. Then you don't wear your underwear. Then you expose your genitalia.
Michael, you paint a picture like it's something that happens to you on the...
And the thing is, if this somehow it was true that this just accidentally happened, it was just the way his shorts were and were positioned and he didn't notice it and it was a complete accident. Like, I don't believe that for a second, but okay, that's the kind of thing that would happen once. This wouldn't be the kind of thing that happens repeatedly.
at the spur of the moment. And your actions on that day are completely contrary to exactly that. You know, you were not just shopping and you didn't feel a little tingle in your genitals and you didn't feel like you had to rub on them or anything because of that. You came all the way to this Walmart for a reason. Okay? Because you could have done all that stuff you could have been shopping over at the Walmart in Havasu. So let's just cut the bullshit. You know what I mean? And the point I'm getting to is this kind of stuff, it doesn't just happen. You gotta work your way up to something like this. You know what I mean? Like, it starts somewhere and it starts small. I know it. Okay? And then it gets bigger. You get bolder.
Yeah, he's just going to get bolder and bolder and just like just take it further and further. And we've already seen that he's willing to grab a woman in a store and physically touch her. How long until he's willing to do that to an underage person while exposing himself? There's no good that could come of this. This wasn't a mistake. This was something that he intended to do, and he would have done it again. Hopefully he went to prison.
You didn't just start touching yourself on that day in front of people. You worked your way up to it. And I'll venture to say that you've probably been doing it for a while, and you only got caught this time. So let's back up, because we want to understand. I want to understand. The courts are going to want to understand what drives a person.
Hopefully the courts just put him in prison. I don't think there's that much to gain from understanding why they do it, like, unless it's going to somehow prevent it, which I don't see how it could. It's like, who cares what his motivation was? Just lock him up. Just don't let people do that.
To do something like that. And if maybe they have a little insight on what's going on in your head, it may help them when they make their decisions. It may help you. I don't know. So let's back up. Where does this start? How long has this been going on?
Well, I guess quite a while. I mean, it does, it's like I was married for 20 years and, unfortunately that didn't work out.
Well, what is it? How is this an answer to the question? So many of these predators do that when they get asked a specific question, like, why did you do this? Like, what exactly did you do? And they just launch into just some kind of history about themselves. Like, it's like, what does that have to do with anything?
What's your sexual preference, Michael? Who do you prefer sexually?
I prefer females my own age. Not older,
Bullshit.
not younger, my age.
Okay. So then why the clothing section for the little girls.
Well, I'm not real sure about that. That kind of thing doesn't do anything for me.
Like I said, come on.
Yeah, the thing is, like, Walmarts are big stores. So it's not like that's the only section. There are many, many different sections, and they're popular stores, so there's usually a lot of people in the Walmart at any given time. You specifically chose the kids' clothing section, and you specifically did this in front of a very young minor girl. You could have done it anywhere. You chose that section, you chose that particular person. So that kind of indicates your preference. So don't try to say that you're interested in women your own age.
You think telling me that and then what I've seen in these videos that even makes sense? Do you think I'm really blowing smoke up your ass? I'm telling you what I've seen in these videos. And that's not the only video. I got more. Okay? From the other...
Yeah, they have videos that clearly show you making a beeline for that section and following that particular young person around and her mom.
times that you've gone in and done this. Okay? So that doesn't even make sense. It starts somewhere. There's a fascination. Okay? Am I wrong? Somewhere there's a fascination. It starts with the fascination, correct? So let's be honest. Tell me about that.
It starts with a fascination. I've never heard that. I don't think I've heard that word be used in that context before, but it kind of makes sense.
Help me understand.
You know, for the most part, I feel like I'm a normal human being. You know, I mean...
You think you're a normal human being? Who the hell are you hanging around with that you think you're a normal human being? I think so many of these guys, I don't know if they just justify it in their own minds. They normalize it to the point where they think this kind of behavior is normal. And I think some people, they're just like the stuff that they read and watch, the groups they're a part of on the internet, other like-minded people, they start to think that this is normal, that everyone does this kind of thing. But this guy claims he doesn't even have internet. Whether or not that's true or not, who knows? But how could you be involved in something like this and think it's normal? I think they don't want to be the way they are, so they have to justify it in their mind somehow that they're not this kind of person, and there's some other reason for it. You know, they wouldn't do this kind of thing. He's even said, like, I don't do this kind of thing in the very next sentence after claiming that he did this kind of thing. He said, you know, I grabbed that woman's behind, but, you know, I don't touch people like that. But you just did. Like, I think part of it is they're stupid and they're criminals. They don't want to get caught, but what the hell goes on in their minds that they think that they're a normal person? You're definitely abnormal if you do this kind of thing.
I do have a fascination.
Give me a little insight on that. What do you mean? Fascination. Tell me about the fascination.
Oh, I fantasize different things, and
You know, we know the kind of things you fantasize about, and that is really disturbing. But it's not illegal because no one knows what goes on in your head. You could have just kept it at that and been a disgusting pervert, but at least not harming anyone out there in public. But you took it beyond that. You took it to the point where you're actually going out and grabbing people, where you're going out and exposing yourself to minors. That is horrible.
you know, it's not necessarily younger women. It's, you know.
You know, I can see the way girls look these days. You can't tell anymore how.
You can tell. You can tell. This was a toddler we're talking about. He says that he's interested in women his own age, and he's 65. If you can't tell the difference between a 65-year-old and a toddler, you are stupid. That is obviously the cops just saying this to try to get the guy to be like, yeah, and agree with him, but that is not the case.
Old they are.
Yeah.
But I completely understand that the physiological attraction to something that's good looking. You know? So I'm not looking at you like you're a monster. I'm trying to understand what's going on.
Speak for yourself, buddy. Yeah, they always say that. You're not a bad guy. We deal with bad guys all the time, but you didn't do this because you're a bad guy. You just did it for some other reason. So just agree to that, and it's still a confession. But so yeah, these guys are monsters. There's no way they're not looking at him with disgust. You could, especially that female cop there, just sitting back there with her head on her hand, just looking at this guy like she wants to strangle him. That's what they really think of this guy. It's not their job to necessarily tell them what they think. It's the court's job to punish them. It's their job just to get the confession.
But in order for me to do that, you have to paint a picture for me. Now, I think we're getting close to the truth. I think there may be something going on with the younger girls. So let's just be honest with that. We're here now.
They're here to help put him in prison.
We're here now. Let's deal with this. It's not going away until we deal with it. So
Well, this is true. I do have a fascination with younger girls, but
Okay, there we go. They pried it out of him. So his whole thing about how he prefers women his own age is a lie.
that's as far as it goes.
okay.
That's not as far as it goes. You left your house without wearing underwear and drove to a Walmart in some other city to expose yourself to a young person. That is I don't know how to explain it. That's so beyond horrible. And he's like, oh, it's as far as it goes. It's just I have an interest in them. Clearly not. You're willing to act on it and act on it repeatedly. You're a predator, buddy.
You know, I would never rape anybody.
And you know what? Let me just explain something. We're not talking about rape.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about.
And again, he's just like, I think a lot of these guys think, hey, I'm only going this far. So he's like, I'm not actually assaulting anyone. I'm just showing myself. So that's not as bad. It's always like, that's how they justify it. Is it could be worse. I'm not a monster who would do that next step. The thing is, eventually they would have done that next step, and they would justify it in some other way. They would assault someone. Well, I didn't kill them like a lot of guys do. That would be horrible. I'm not some kind of monster like that. I wouldn't go that far. And they just keep going further and further. Just what this guy has done so far is illegal. It would. I hope to God it landed him in prison. I haven't looked it up yet. But this is the kind of thing that people are horrified by. This isn't getting a speeding ticket where people wouldn't hold it against you. It's not something that just happens as part of life. This is a horrible, horrible crime. This is a pretty popular interrogation video. This guy was in the news. This is like newsworthy case, and this guy has been on multiple YouTube channels analyzed, and it's been like 15 years or so, something like that, since this came out. So for him to be like, oh, it is not a big deal, it's like, no, this kind of thing is shocking, and it is a big deal.
A little indecent exposure
Right.
claim. Okay, it's not the crime of the century. Okay, but
Yeah, but it's not the crime of the century, but it's this is a pretty big deal. And it's going to be a big deal for those like the mom and the daughter that saw this, and that old lady that saw it in the wheelchair. Like, they're going to remember that this is going to have a negative impact. Like, maybe it's not going to like lead them to a life of like depression and drug abuse. Like, but who knows? Like, maybe it will. It's just something that happened. Right? It's just something that now they have to be fearful when they go out. They're just trying to live their life and mind their own business, buy something at Walmart. They're going through their own struggles, and then they just have some old man doing this to them. And now that's always in their mind. They just have that image burned into their mind. And now anytime they go out, they have to be worried if they're going to run into this guy again or some other guy doing the same thing. Like, they just have to live a little bit in fear just because this asshole wanted to, get his jollies by exposing himself. Like that's horrible. These guys can't downplay what happened. That it's not that big of a deal because he didn't go so far as to actually assault them, even though he has a history of grabbing women. This this guy sickens me. All these guys sicken me.
We got to get to the root of the situation so that we can figure this out. So tell me about this fascination. I mean, how old are we talking? What's the youngest?
What do you mean?
What's the youngest you've ever fascinated about? What's the youngest age of a girl that you've ever fascinated about?
I don't know, 6, 7.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Far cry from the 65 that you claimed earlier.
But I mean, over the last years, I've, I'm getting away from all that.
And how many years are we talking?
You're getting away. Did you say he's getting away from all that? You're 65. If you have a lifetime of doing that kind of stuff and you're 65, I don't think you're going to change your ways.
And how long have you had? How long can you think back that you've had these kind of feelings or?
I guess back 30 years.
Okay. And would I've been pretty close by saying that it starts out small and it builds up to something like this? It's not like all of a sudden you went out and you started doing this kind of stuff. Where does it start? It starts from the fascination. We discussed that.
Right.
And then where does it go from there? Pictures?
No. No, never have gotten into any kind of child porn or any of those kind of things. And that's the God's truth. It's just
So if I went and
thing.
searched your house, I wouldn't find any child pornography or erotica or anything, pictures of girls in underwear from the JCPenney catalog or anything like that? Okay.
No.
So this is a fascination yours that you've had for about 30 years.
Well, yeah, that'd be fair enough.
Okay. When you went into Walmart, let me just start off. When you went to Walmart on the 20th, okay, when you were wearing the blue shorts, and those pictures that I showed you, and your truck was in the parking lot. Was that your intention for coming to this Walmart here to act on those fantasies?
I wonder, is it like a more serious sentence if they intended to do that versus just did it? Like, is it really that big of a difference? Like, if you left your house intending to do that, or if you just had the impulse to do that in the Walmart and did it, like, I wonder, would that give you more? It's kind of like premeditation. In this, yeah, I don't know what the law says about that. Obviously, like things like murder, like first degree murder is more severely punished than like manslaughter or something. But yeah, I don't know how the law works. But at the end of the day, does it really matter if some guy just has the impulse to do that and can't control it? So he's just out and about and sees a young person and exposes himself. Like, that's just as bad as if he planned to do it. I don't think people really care. Either way, they got to get these guys off the streets.
Well, I was coming up to this area to go over to Izod's, that was my plan, and buy some slacks,
Okay.
in which I did. And the last time I was here, I also went up there trying to buy the same kind of slacks, the Izod golfing slacks, and they didn't have my size.
Okay.
But the first time I went in there, I bought 2 pair.
How many times have you exposed yourself or masturbated while watching a young female child in the last 30 years? More than
That's a pretty blunt question, and yeah, let's hear his answer.
5? More than 10? Too many to count?
Oh, no.
Because you've never been caught, have you? This is the first.
The fact that his answer is not 0 is very telling. If it's not 0, it's probably like thousands, given his age. And nor if someone asked you that, like, I think most people would be horrified by the question. And he's just like has to think about it and just can't really answer. It's like a lot of these interrogations. The guys start off denying everything, but the more the police pry, the more we realize that the scumbag has done in his past, and the more of a horrible predator we realize he is. And I guess that's the point of interrogations, but it's just disgusting. You know, at first it's like, okay, he exposed himself at a Walmart. Yeah, that's bad. But then the more they dig, it's like, oh my God, this guy is horrible.
First time you've been caught, am I correct? Or have you been caught before?
No,
Okay, so this is your first time.
basically, yeah.
And so how many times would you say that you have fondled yourself or masturbated or exposed yourself in the last 30 years while you're fantasizing about girls from 6 years old on up?
Well, it's been a few times, but those feelings have been going
It's been a few times, but there is no but.
away.
Okay, well, I'm glad that those feelings have been going away, but what's a few times? It sounds to me like if you're
Those feelings have been going away, yet he's 65 years old and still doing it. He's in the police station for just doing this. Like, I don't know if this was like the day before or it's very, very recently. So obviously they're not going away enough if he's still doing it.
having to think that hard about it, it's too many times. Too many times, Michael?
It's just in the last 10 years, it's been very,
Okay,
very
too many times, or how many times in the last 30 years that you have fantasized about little girls from the ages of 6 years old on up? How many times?
Oh, 30, 40 times.
Okay.
Oh, good God.
And did you do that in Oregon? I mean, because that's where you lived. How many times have you been to the Bullhead City Walmart and done this and not got caught until this time?
Twice.
Twice. Twice before you got caught?
No.
So this was the first time?
No, this is the first 2 times I've been there.
Okay. What about the Walmart or any other clothing store in Lake Havasu City?
Yeah, it's not specifically the Walmart that's the problem. It's honestly doing this it's doing this in public anywhere. Like, it's like Walmart's just being put on blast here. I'm sure the Walmart people are very fine people. They don't deserve to be associated to this, but for some reason that's what this guy chose to do it at.
No. And the reason for that is you thought that you could come up here and not get caught because
Exactly.
you drive a vehicle that doesn't have Arizona license plates on it.
Not necessarily. I normally drive my Saturn. My Saturn's...
Well, 2 times up here, though, you drove your pickup truck, right?
Right.
And that
because
pickup truck does not have Arizona license
No.
plates on it, does it?
No.
So I think a reasonable person would say is that you thought you would never get caught because you're driving a vehicle that doesn't have Arizona license
Never
plates on it.
crossed...
Yeah, I think that's his plan, but like there's still ways to track people down. If they have him on security footage and I guess maybe in his mind they're like, "Oh, okay, if they get my face on camera, like they could show the local police, they could even put it on the news, but no one outside of this area is going to see it."
My mind.
Really?
I always drive my Saturn.
No, you don't always drive your Saturn because at least on 2 occasions you drove your
I
truck.
know, because my Saturn, the first time it was down with plugged injectors. And
So every time your Saturn has some kind of a mechanical problem, you drive your truck to a Walmart to expose yourself. Is that what you're saying?
the second time I thought I had plugged injectors again because it behaved exactly the same way. And I didn't know exactly what I was going to do about it, so I parked it for 2 months.
So you drove your truck up.
You didn't know what you were going to do about it? Wouldn't getting it fixed be the best choice?
Up here that has the Oregon plates
I
on it.
drove my truck. It's
Right.
the only vehicle that was running at the
Okay.
time. And
I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to sit here and diagnose you. And you know what? I don't care about your childhood. I don't care about any of that. I want to know why you...
There we go. Yeah, it's like, who cares about their past and their reasons for it, or whatever sob story they have about their history or their wife or their divorce or their Saturn breakdown. It's like, who cares? All we care is you did this crime. There's no excuse for it.
did what you did. And you know what? You're not manning up to it. You're saying you're blaming it on blood pressure and this and that, and your wife left you and blah, blah, blah. And so you know what? While you're talking here, all I'm hearing is blah, blah, blah. Because I've got a 3-year-old girl that I just interviewed that said that she never wants to see the bad man again. A 3-year-old girl that doesn't want to see the bad man. And you know what she said? She said, I hope the bad man goes to the hooskow. You have changed that child's life.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think people talk about that enough. Like, we discuss these predators, we watch the interrogations, but the people that they do this to are going to be affected by it. Like, this is probably like one of the biggest events of her life so far, and this is a horrible event. They should not have to go through this. They should not have to witness something like that and then have to talk to the police to describe it in order so we could put the guy in prison. Like, this is just a horrible event for her. And then, of course, the mom's going to be also shocked. She's going to be scared for her kid, probably forever. I mean, every parent's going to be scared, but now she just has to worry even more about this. Like, you just really mess with these people's lives just for your own, like, selfish benefit. Then you're sitting here denying it. Then we find out you have a history of doing this. Then we find out that you're actually a disgusting pervert. Like, God knows what this guy's done in his life. And every time they ask more questions, they find out more horrible things he's done. And, like, good God, I hope this guy went to prison.
So, you've changed that child's life. 3 years old. 3 years old, and she doesn't want to see the bad man again. She doesn't want to go to Walmart with her mom anymore for fear that bad man is going to be in there. The bad man that had his gym shorts on with these cock and balls hanging out. Yeah. Because you know what, I'm at a point now where I'm not going to use nice terms or anything, because you didn't care what a 3-year-old child saw. And her mother who saw it. And then after that, you go over into the girls section. You've got a problem. You've got a problem, and those feelings aren't going away. Because a month ago, you came and did the same thing that you've done 30 or 40 times previous to this. So, I'm discouraged that you won't take responsibility for your actions. Detective, I don't want to talk to him anymore.
Okay.
She's just like, bye. I was quite enjoying her interrogation method, so I wish she stayed. Like, do these predators, do they have just any kind of remorse, any kind of understanding? Do they realize on any level this is wrong? Like, they're just dumb, or they're just so predatory they don't care? Like, do they feel guilt? I know a lot of people, like, we just assume that other people feel the same we do, but I don't think that's the case. If he had any sort of guilt, he wouldn't be repeatedly doing this. Like, it's just, like, people like this shouldn't be allowed to live in our society.
Anything else you want to say about this?
No,
Or say for yourself?
I'm just not sure what to say. I mean,
See, my concern is that even with us sitting here, and even with this going on today, that later on when you're out there, because remember I spoke about a progression. You started out fantasizing. You don't want to talk about the in-between. You say that there's no pictures. You say that you've never fantasized. I can't say that I believe you, okay? But you've definitely progressed. And you're skipping that point.
well, that's something I've never been into. I don't, I mean,
But you have,
You could tear my house apart and you'll never find anything like that, and I've never had any.
Like, okay, maybe that's true. Maybe they could tear his house apart and never find anything bad. But I think a lot of that's the fact to do with he says he doesn't have internet on his computer. If he did, there would probably be a lot of horrible stuff on there. But okay, maybe he didn't look at illegal things online. Who cares? He still committed all these other crimes. He's still grabbing women in public and exposing himself to minors and just like multiple times. So it's not an excuse. The guys try to, it's like Jeff Stacy when it's like, check my car. I don't have alcohol. I don't have drugs. Just so adamant about it. It's like, okay, maybe that's true. That doesn't mean you didn't commit the main crime that you're here for. It's not a defense. You don't get away with a crime because you claim that, well, I didn't do other crimes. It's like, well, yeah, maybe, maybe not. Who cares? He still did this one. He still deserves to go to prison for this.
and you may be right.
Like that around.
You may be right.
And, you know.
But like I said, my concern is the progression.
Yeah, well,
Okay, a bit, after a while, the fantasies don't become enough. So then you go out and you start going into the
He's long past that point. He's had decades of being past the point of fantasy where he's actually going out and doing things to real people.
stores, and who knows what you've done between this and going out to the stores and doing what you do to yourself. And what's next? I mean, you're making it obvious,
in this
Michael.
last year, those are the only 2 times in this whole last year.
Well, let me ask you something.
Okay, 0 times are allowed. You're allowed to do this kind of thing 0 times in your lifetime. Not even once. You're not allowed to do this. He's like, I've only done those 2 times this year. He has to be very specific, this year. So what you're saying is you've done this multiple times in previous years, but this year just twice. You're not allowed to do at all. Like, twice in 1 year is horrific. Twice in one lifetime. If you did this once when you're 18 and once when you're 65, that is disgusting, and you should go to prison for both of those times. He's like, I've only done it twice this year. Like, he's just trying to rationalize it. Well, if you look at the bigger picture, I could have done it more, but I only did it a few times. But it doesn't matter how you phrase it. The fact is, you did it. You did it 1 time. That's more than enough to send you to prison, or at least it should be.
Do you think that that's okay?
No.
So put yourself in an average person, a person that's not
Basically, anyone who's not a predator. Basically, any normal person. What he's saying.
involved
Any of us listening are what he's talking about.
in shoes, that sees that kind of stuff. Take yourself out of your shoes and put yourself in someone else's shoes, seeing you do what you do. What do you think should happen to a person like that?
I don't
Why not?
know. I just, I get so damn disgusted with myself over that.
So you know it's wrong, but you still do it.
Yeah, he's disgusted with himself, so he just repeatedly does it.
Is that correct?
And it's not like he's out and about and just gets the impulse that he can't control. He had this thought and then left his house and drove to some other place to do this. So he had a lot of time to sit there in his car and think and debate whether or not to do it. And then he went in, sought out a victim, went immediately to the kids' clothing section, sought out someone, and then did it. And then left. And then did it again at a later point. So disgusted with himself or not, obviously he's not disgusted enough to stop doing it.
Well, like I said, it's only twice in the last 14 months since I've been here.
Now we changed it a year to 14 months. Shut up.
Okay, but 30 times in the last, what do we say?
30 years.
30 years. Okay. But you still you didn't answer my question. Do you know that it's wrong?
Oh, yes, I do.
But
I think of course they know it's wrong. They either just don't care or they just do it anyway. If he didn't think it was wrong, he would have done it at a closer Walmart and saved himself the gas. He traveled somewhere else in a different vehicle, in his normal vehicle, just to try to escape detection. So obviously he knew it was wrong.
you've done it 30 times since. So you know it's wrong, but you continue to do it. It's deviant behavior. What's so exciting about doing something like that? Is there a level of excitement?
No, it's.
What do you get out of
That's
that?
why I don't understand why I do it, because, I don't, there's no satisfaction in
Okay. So, I guess what I'm getting out of it is it's something that you're telling me that you can't help.
Well, I think I probably can. It's just, I feel like I'm not, that episode with the shorts hiked up. Now that was wrong. That was bad.
So were any of the 38 times right? Any of those 30 times that
not
you did
any
stuff
of
like
them
that?
right. But it just,
It's bad because why? Because you got caught?
no, it's because
He's just at a loss. He's at a loss for why this is bad.
I feel like I've I'm covered up most all the time. It's just those blue shorts episodes that was crazy
The blue shorts episodes?
and wrong.
And it wasn't an accident. So don't try to paint that picture. You know it wasn't. Well, I think there's more to this, Michael, and
Listen, I've been impudent now for almost 10, 11 years, and
but okay, I get you trying to explain to me what's going on, but it doesn't have anything to do. Just because you can't get your dick hard doesn't make it any more wrong that it's hanging out of your pants and you're beating on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of mind-blowing that some young detective like this has to explain to a 65-year-old man that piece of very obvious information.
In front of, or in following little girls. And you're even to the point where you're reckless about it. You do it intentionally and you're even reckless about it because you go out, you plan on doing this stuff, you go out, you do it, and you're so focused in on these little girls that you don't even see the other people around you seeing you do it.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
That's how intense in my mind, your fantasy is at this point. Okay? So I guess my question is, what happens next? What's the next step from here? And I'm not talking about
Prison, hopefully.
from here. I mean, for you in your fantasy. Give me a minute, okay?
I just, this last month I joined the Desert Singles Social Club, and there was no children there. Not that I.
What does this have to do with? So you joined a social club? What does that have to do with anything? Who cares?
They're my age, and these are the people I want to be around, and I want.
Okay, and maybe most of the time that's true. Maybe you most of the time want to be around people your own age, but once in a while, on a semi-regular basis, you drive to a Walmart somewhere and expose yourself to a minor. It doesn't matter who you normally like to be around. It doesn't matter. None of that. All that matters is you did this crime. Who cares about anything else?
I have trouble meeting people, and
Yeah, it's funny when you're a disgusting predator that you just have a hard time meeting people. People don't like to be around you. What a shock.
this is what's what my plan is next. Is to be more active. I don't do bars. I don't do any of those kind of things.
All right, well, give me a second.
He's just like, yeah, I don't care. Who cares? They try to pretend like if I'm good in other areas, it will help justify or balance out the horrible thing I did. Who cares if he doesn't go to bars? You're allowed to go to bars. That's fine. You're not allowed to do what you did. So the fact hey, I don't go to bars. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. So? So you still did this crime.
I'll be back in. Okay?
And we'll skip ahead a little bit here till they come back. Looks like he's coming in and out. There we go. Oh, and the female detective is back too.
Yes.
We touched base on at least one event that you admitted to.
You remember your rights, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
We talked about when you went in, I showed you the pictures for May 21st. When you went in, when you were wearing the blue shorts,
Yes.
the pictures that I showed you, we talked about that. There was a second incident that we kind of touched on. When you went in later, it was, I believe it was, I said, man, that was April 21st. So you went in on May 12th. And this is the incident, you may not have been aware of it, but you were being watched by loss prevention.
What is that?
Loss prevention is like their security for like shoplifting and all that stuff.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? And that's what I want to discuss with you. It sounds pretty much the same thing. You came to Walmart from Havasu. You went into the store about at about 1 o'clock. And there was a woman with a small girl in a cart.
Just like another instance. Look at that female detective. Like, she's resting her head back. She's like, good God. She's probably like, I spent my entire life talking to predators. What the hell am I gonna do?
Do you recall that
Kind of.
situation?
Mhm.
All right. Let's talk about that. Tell me about what you did that day.
That day?
Yeah. When you got to Walmart. Were you walking around, looking around like you said you were in the first incident?
Walking around.
And what does he mean? Like, I walked around. He said that before, that when, like, the very beginning. Like, what did you do at the Walmart? Oh, I walked around. Like, if someone asked you, what did you do at Walmart? You'd probably be like, oh, I went in because I needed to buy a pair of jeans. Like, you would say, you wouldn't be like, well, I walked in and just wandered around, and it's like, what? It just seems like he's just immediately hiding the most important detail that the cops obviously already know.
Basically.
Okay. So when do you see this lady and this little girl?
Pretty much when I first walked in, I noticed those guys. There was some kind of a display. I don't know what the event was, what the season was. Just seasonable items.
Okay. So were they the only, that lady and that little girl, were they the only couple that were in that area at the time, or were there more?
I think there was other people coming in. It was pretty much right at the entry of the store.
So what grabbed your attention about them?
I know exactly what grabbed his attention.
I'm not real sure.
Okay.
You know, I was just hanging out in that area, and
Another little girl that was between 5 and 10 in a shopping cart.
well, she was, and you know, she didn't even know I was there, and
You were by the beach towels, right?
I'm sorry.
You were by the beach towels.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Remembering now?
yeah, I do remember
Okay.
the beach towels.
And
What is that? Security business for you?
What's this?
Do they think I shoplifted or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
They recognized you from the first time that you came in
Oh, I see.
and did what you did when you touched yourself in front of that little girl. And then Grandma saw you in the wheelchair. Okay? They recognized you from that incident.
Oh,
So when you came in this time, they saw you and they watched you.
I see.
Okay? And so you're standing, and they watched you, and they said they saw you standing by the towels, watching this little girl and her mom. What were you doing?
Yeah, so there was multiple witnesses.
Well, I was just walking around. I wasn't.
Dude, he just loves saying that. I was just walking around. I was just wandering around the store. I was just like, come on.
Just standing there.
Okay, well, were you doing anything to yourself while you're watching this?
No, it was right there.
And this guy just has like no personality. Like we've seen other predators that are just such characters. They just, there's some sort of animation to their voices. They try to defend themselves. They just show some kind of emotion. This guy is just dull and brain dead.
Michael?
No, I wouldn't touch myself thinking that there was anybody around watching.
Michael, we already went over the first incident. You were clearly doing that on film. You saw people doing it, or people saw you doing it the first time.
I'll be damned.
Now you're saying you didn't do it?
I'm saying that I probably did, but
What do you mean you probably did?
if there's somebody
How could you not know whether or not you did something like that?
just standing there, I'm not going to be fondling myself.
You gotta be kidding me. I just got done talking to you in our last interview.
He's just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, are you serious? You're trying to deny this?
Where you were following this little girl around, touching yourself. And you
This cop, he's just being so friendly about it. I bet, look at that woman there. You could tell she's so annoyed. I like it better when she's just ripping into this guy.
were so focused in on her, you couldn't even see the grandmother who was watching you do it. You remember that part of the conversation?
I guess I do the conversation. I don't remember the incident. I mean, I just don't remember.
Is it fair to say that you get tunnel vision when this stuff is going on?
Yeah, I would guess that. I'm not an expert, but I would say that that's exactly right. He's just so consumed by doing this. He's just staring at this underage girl, touching himself, and that's all he's thinking about. He doesn't notice other witnesses, ignoring the security cameras as well. That's all he cares about. That is not a man that should be walking free.
Imagine.
Because you didn't see anybody around you watching you, but you also weren't aware that they have video surveillance inside of
Well,
Walmart.
yes, I am, and I guess I should. Well, I'll tell you what. I just that
You just get tunnel vision, right? You're seeing one thing and one thing only, and you forget about everything else.
Yeah, I think that's what happens with like a lot of these predators. Like I make fun of them all the time about how they ignore all the red flags. It's so obvious. A normal person would know this. A normal person wouldn't do this kind of thing, but a normal person would also notice this is an obvious setup. And the guys don't. They just ignore everything. They ignore just how obviously this is not a real situation. But they're so carried away with their fantasies. They have, like this woman says, the tunnel vision. All they care about is their predatory act and just fulfilling their desires. So they ignore everything else, even other human beings standing there seeing them do it. They just want to do it so bad they don't care about anything else. All they care about is doing what they want to do, and they do it repeatedly. These people deserve no mercy.
Yes, because that was a pretty stupid thing to do right in front of video cameras for crying out loud.
Do you have children, Michael? Got a daughter, don't you?
How do you know that?
I told you, Michael, we don't talk to anybody without doing our homework. You got a daughter that's about, 42, isn't she?
Bet you she's proud of her dad.
That could be right.
Mm-hmm, it is. What would you say if I told you that we talked to Judy up in Boise?
Oh, no.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
It's just that she's
Judy, his ex-wife. Bet you she has a lot of good things to say about him.
just going to make, things miserable for me.
You haven't been married to her for 10 years. How could she make things miserable for
Oh,
you?
that's all she needs is something to hear something like this, and that's not going to make my life go too well. Sure.
What do you think she would tell us?
Oh, I don't think she told me. I can't imagine because we had a good relationship, a healthy relationship, basically.
Is this the same one that he got charged with, or accused of kidnapping? Because she was trying to flee to go to a women's shelter? Is this the same one? You think they have a good relationship? Maybe it's a different one. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it's an odd thing to say, and I think that maybe he's not looking at their relationship the same way she is.
Why did it end?
Huh?
Why did it end?
Well, she claimed that I was a workaholic and that I didn't know how to have fun. And she became a born-again Christian, and she just carried it to an extreme. And so eventually, she had to go her way and I had to go mine.
Your fascination with prepubescent girls didn't have anything to do with the...
Yeah, that might have something to do with it.
Now, she used to
Demise
give me
of the
a hard time
relationship.
about having an eye for a pretty girl walking by.
A pretty 6-year-old or
A what?
a pretty 6-year-old girl, or
No.
did you ever share that those fantasies with your wife?
No.
Okay, the thing is, like, the police. I can't remember where this leads to, but the thing is, the police usually know the answer before they ask the question, and they said that they spoke with this Judy woman, his ex. So I don't think they would be bringing this up if there was no chance of this being true, if Judy did not mention it.
No.
Did you ever share any of that with your daughter?
Judy might have said something about my daughter. I've told her what I know about my daughter. My daughter and I don't know each other. And never have. And as far as my daughter knows, I don't even exist. She thinks her father is somebody
Talking so quietly, it's hard to hear.
else. And
Is Judy not your daughter's mother?
no. No. Judy she had 4 kids, and the oldest one that actually her mother raised was living on the streets of Reno, Nevada, and he was an Aryan Nation gang leader, and he got into quite a bit of trouble and spent quite a few years in prison down there.
Did you live up in Reno area when Judy lived up there or not?
No. Anyhow, she asked me one day if I wanted to go save a life. And I said, sure. So we went to Reno, picked Skip up in Reno, and drove him back to my ranch. And
How many times have you gone to the Walmart in Lake Havasu?
She's just like, shut the fuck up with this stupid story you're telling that goes absolutely nowhere. Now she's like, let's get back to the matter at hand.
Done the same thing?
No.
No? Okay, so you just pick on Fair City.
Why here? Why Bullhead?
I was just, get out of town for a
Yeah, it's kind of like the Ohio cops. Why did you come to Dark County? It's like, man, we were trying to deal with our own predators, our own criminals here. Now we just have people traveling from other places to come here. They just out of everywhere they could have chosen, they chose this particular place to come to do this crime. Now we have to deal with you. Now you're coming here like as an outsider to harm our children. It's like that would just piss you off a little bit more.
Well, it's a nice roll up here, and you know, I'm over to Laughlin, to the outlet center.
You ever do any of this, any of those clothing stores over there? I know they got a kid clothing store over there. Just Walmart here?
Yeah, see, the thing is, after they realize he has a history of doing this, all of a sudden they have to realize he's probably done this in every single place he's ever lived. So now they have to expand this investigation and contact those other police departments, figure out what they know, and find out if he has more victims. Because these guys aren't just going to do this one time. They're going to like spread this filth all over the anywhere they've ever lived or visited or been to, everyone they've ever met. They're going to be negatively affecting these people and places.
Or is there any other place?
I behave 99% of the time.
Well, it's that other 1% that's going to put you in prison.
In prison?
Go ahead and share with him, detective.
Looking at 7 felony counts.
He's like, prison? What? What did you expect? You thought you could do this and like there'd be no consequences?
Of sexual indecency in public sexual indecency.
Look at his face. He's like, what? Seriously?
Account for everybody that can be identified that was around at the time that you were doing this.
Yeah. And this is the kind of thing I hate concurrent sentences. Especially when there's if it's a horrible crime with multiple victims, each one of those people deserves justice. It's like, yeah, you're going around exposing yourself to all these people, including minors. You should be punished for each one of them, not just get a light sentence, just a minor slap on the wrist because they'll just give it to you concurrently. Like, no, it should be like, yeah, you did this 7 times to 7 different people. You go 7 times the sentence. That's what they deserve.
We got plenty of names. Plenty of people who saw you. Plenty of people who chose you picked you out of lineups.
The woman and her child that were in the seasonal item, that you were standing there near the beach towels fondling yourself, those are 2 victims. The woman and her 3-year-old child in the dairy aisle, those are 2 more victims.
The old lady and her granddaughter, those are 2 more victims. And then there's the loss prevention clerk who actually saw you with his own eyes and then later on video and saw the whole act.
So this means I'm going to probably go to prison now.
You know what?
Have you ever done anything?
I'll do anything I can do to put you in prison.
Yeah. Good. How could this guy possibly, after all, like, we've been sitting here for an hour in this interrogation, and it hasn't crossed his mind that there's going to be legal consequences for this? What did he think the police were talking to him about? When you commit a crime and the police are interrogating you, somewhere in the back of your mind, you should be thinking that, yeah, you might go to jail for this. Like, how is he stupid? He's just so shocked. What? There's consequences for this? I don't understand.
I'll tell you that right now. Because you have something that's not right with you, for a grown man to sit and say that he fantasizes about 6-year-olds, 6 to 10-year-olds, that's sexually deviant behavior. And after we interviewed the 11-year-old victim again this morning, another interview with her, and she told me in Detective English that she is afraid of you, that she has nightmares about you, and she was afraid that you were going to grab her and do God knows what to her. You know what? My heart goes out to these victims. And unfortunately, and maybe I'm calloused, but my heart does not go out to you because...
Yeah, no shit.
When I have a 3-year-old child telling me about the bad man, 3-year-old child shouldn't know about bad men right now. And you've obviously put yourself in this position, and so It's my goal, even though this is Detective English's case, it's my goal to make sure
Come
that
on, make it a team effort.
you do go to prison and to hopefully make you register as a sex offender, because I think that we grabbed you at the tip of the iceberg. You were
Working your way up to do
one
more bad
step
things.
away from
no.
touching a child.
No.
Yeah. No, don't say no, no, no. You already admitted that you grabbed a grown woman before. And then you've clearly showed, you've even said with your own words that you're attracted to minors, very young minors. So it's not inconceivable that you would be willing to touch one of them. You absolutely would.
I would.
When you sit and fantasize about 6-year-old
no, I
female
don't.
children, that is
I don't sit and
sexually
fantasize.
deviant behavior. You told us 30 to 40 times you've done this.
Over,
And I know that-
over my whole life.
For 30 years is how long you said you've been
Right.
fantasizing. And so I can
You've
tell
acted on
you,
it.
by 30 or 40 times, you've minimized it at least half. So,
Yeah, and the thing is, the fact that this guy's a liar, so if he's admitting to doing it a little bit, it means it's way, way more than he's admitting to.
Michael, you know what?
And I guarantee he's done things, obviously, that the cops don't know about yet, and that he hasn't mentioned. Who knows what kind of stuff this guy's done throughout his life. This is what we know of him, and it's horrible. Imagine what he's done that we don't know about.
I try and have compassion for people that have problems. I really do. You know what? I can understand somebody that murders somebody else. I can't understand a grown 65-year-old man fantasizing about a 6-year-old child. That just does not register with me. I don't understand it. I can't understand it. And
You said it wasn't the end of the world.
Well, Michael-
End of the world for me.
Well, Michael, listen, it's not just the fact that you're fantasizing about this stuff. I mean, that part's bad in itself, but it's the fact that, I've discussed with you the progression of this whole thing.
You took this out of the realm of fantasy, which is bad enough, into the realm of doing this to real victims, that it's having a real negative impact on.
Progressed to the point where you've been acting on it for the last 30 years. You have.
Oh,
You admittedly say you have.
It's getting.
I don't know where in your
less,
mind.
And less.
So we
For
should.
the last 11 months, I had two days.
So do you think?
What is? Okay, last time it was first of all it was a year, then it was 14 months, now it's 11 months. He's trying to pretend like this is a problem that's going away, because in the last 11 months, or however long, he keeps changing it, but we'll say 11 months, he's only done this twice. Those 2 times included those young victims that female detective just described to you. You traumatized a whole bunch of people, 7 of them. And he's like, well, it's only been twice in the last 11 months. Like, what the hell? How can you be that delusional?
A guy who does what you do should be able to just wander around in society, walk around in Walmart.
I think it's got to stop. It's got to stop. I agree.
too many tattoos or anything.
It's obvious, yeah, it's got to stop, and you're obviously incapable of stopping it yourself. None of these guys can. So we'll stop it for you. Obviously this, like, the whole justice system is bullshit, and probably in every country, like, it's just always unfair. It's like the wrong people get punished, the really bad people get, like, no punishment. Once in a while someone will get what they deserve, but it seems like it's rare. But some of these guys, they just, if you just give him like 30 days in jail and 18 months, 2 years probation or something, it's like, that's not going to help the situation. He's just going to continue doing this kind of thing. The punishment has to be severe.
Anything on your arms or upper body?
No,
Why do you always wear a long sleeve shirt?
skin cancer.
You don't worry about skin cancer on your legs?
Yeah, it is worth noting that it's like, hey, you always wear shorts, but you always wear long sleeve shirts. That is something worth noting.
No. No, I worked for 35 years out in the West.
And obviously you don't worry about skin cancer on your penis because you have that coming out of your shorts, right?
Zing.
So it's just on your arms. Don't tell me to come on. You're the one that's running around Walmart with your penis hanging out of your shorts. don't,
And the thing that gets me about this, Michael, is you know it's wrong, but yet you continue to do it. And even though you say in your mind, and all you've been doing with us this whole time is minimizing everything. You've been trying to make everything so small when you know it's not.
Well, the deal is I've been here 13 months, and I had 2 days that you witnessed, and that.
and in 2 days,
What? Does he think that's a defense? Is he crazy? He's like, there's only 2 days where I committed this crime. In the last year, I only shot 2 people. I don't understand why you're giving me trouble for this. What the hell is he talking about? He's just admitting to it. He's like, I've only done this twice in the last year. Okay. Then you're going to prison for those 2 times. Those 2 times had 7 victims. That's not a defense. You're not allowed to only do this a couple times a year. It's not like you get a set amount and that you're not allowed to go over. You're not allowed to do this even one time in a lifetime. This guy is infuriating.
you racked up 7 felony counts. So, you know what? You can't minimize this and put it on everybody else, because I'm going to tell you what, a 6-year-old girl or a 3-year-old girl does not flaunt themselves in front of you. This 11-year-old girl that you followed around, that you were within 8 feet of, picking up clothes when she turned around and looked at you, and she saw you fondling your penis on multiple occasions in one short trip to Walmart for her. And you know what? She doesn't want to go back.
Yeah, these are just like innocent people out just trying to live their life in peace, and then you're just going out there and then just permanently damaging them just for your own selfish needs. And then he just doesn't understand why it's such a big deal. What? I only did it twice in the last year. I don't understand.
Doesn't want to go back, and you told him that he's not welcome back, right?
Not yet, but I'm sure he knows by now.
Yeah, by the way, we shouldn't have to mention it, but we probably do because this guy's an idiot. That Walmart, you're not allowed back in there. Permanently banned.
You're trespass from Walmart, and that probably means every Walmart on the face of this planet, because that's usually
It should.
how it works.
And you know what? Honestly, we don't even want you back in Bullhead City.
Okay.
You know what? Stay in Lake Havasu. If you got to go show your penis to people, then you know what? Do it at home. Don't bring that kind of activity here to our city.
Okay.
We pride ourselves in keeping this city a safe city.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're bringing badness to our city.
Okay.
Because a
I
3-year-old
apologize.
told us
I'm sorry.
that a bad man was here. So,
All right, Michael.
So 7 counts.
7
against
class
him.
5 felonies.
7 class 5s.
And how long in prison would that be?
That's, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Are they going to let me go home before?
I don't know. That's up to the judge. You'll go over the hill. You'll be booked in the Kingman jail, county jail, and you'll be held until at least the morning. You'll see a judge.
Oh, you mean I'm not going to stay here tonight?
No, this isn't a holding. This is only a temporary holding facility. It's a processing facility.
How am I going to get my car?
You'll go back up to, well, you could either leave it locked up in the parking lot, which I don't know when you're going to get out, and if it sits there for so long, eventually it's going to be towed. So, either that or you can find somebody who can come and get it for you.
What about getting? I feel like if I'm going to have any kind of chance of life at all, I'm going to have a lawyer.
If you want a lawyer, there's phones in there. There's phone books. You can call an attorney. It's been your option this whole time. So, they will provide free counsel for you. If you can't afford it, that was explained.
All right, well, stop it there. That's pretty much the end. So, yeah, that was a very, very gross case. I hope this guy got punished. I tried Googling it. I found a whole bunch of articles on his arrest, but I never found out anything else if he was actually convicted or if he got a prison sentence. If anyone knows, let me know. I would like to know, and I hope he got a lengthy sentence. All right, so let me know if there's any other predators you want me to cover or to cover a second time, or any other interrogations. And if you want to help support me, feel free to subscribe to my Patreon. The link is in the video description here. I have like 170 or 180 videos on there now. I do all sorts of takedown with Chris Hansen and other stuff that I don't do here on YouTube. So I appreciate everyone watching, and I'll see you all next time.